The purpose of this workshop is to discuss the Wakulla Marine Advisory Committee on October 7th of this year. Commissioner Moore presented an agenda item requesting board approval to schedule and advertise a public hearing to consider adopting an ordinance establishing the Marine Advisory Committee. And discussion by the board, the board would like to discuss the makeup of that committee in a workshop. So therefore, that is the purpose of this meeting, is to discuss the makeup of that committee and kind of get an idea moving forward so that we can help Commissioner Moore put together a final analysis to move forward with a public hearing. With that, I turn it over to the commissioners.
Is that it?
I can keep talking, but I won't say anything.
Who's on? Am I on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, basically, prior to this happening, I had met with the OR, Organization of Reefs, and about 5-6 different people: Ron Fred Crum, Chuck Shields, Jody Campbell, B.J. Pybus, and 1 or 2 other people. And we were going to form a committee, and somehow it came back to the board, I guess, and the board said, well, not the board, but I think it came into your office somehow.
Yeah,
And David came and said that he was going to have a meeting with Fish and Wildlife, and that they would like to be a part of this. And I think they had the meeting. I was not there. I was out of town. But with the Fish and Wildlife, they decided that the best way to affect this would be to have a recognized advisory committee, and that would give more credence to the obtaining and soliciting for artificial reefs. And that's about where we are. I would still recommend the people that I talked with. I think basically the board probably we can do a majority vote and approve each one, or anybody approve what comes forward.
But can't vote today, but yes.
Okay.
You're right. To give a little more background on that, Commissioner Moore is correct. When we met with both OR and FWC, in order to create the plan that ultimately will be approved by FWC and the Corps of Engineers, it requires that's the strategic plan for your artificial reefs. As part of the FWC's process, it's not a requirement, but it is highly suggested that you have a committee that's representative of the folks that use artificial reefs and of the county, that you run your plan before them. They help bring it together. That way it's more of a citizen's plan. So therefore, that's the reason for us asking for that, because the last thing we need is more committees. So we didn't want to do that. But what this will do is, once we develop the strategic plan, that will be sent to FWC and then also to the Army Corps of Engineers. FWC shouldn't be a problem as far as getting their approval to it. It's the Corps of Engineers that will take a year or two. So that's the reason we want to get this thing going, because this is a long trod. This is a long end game, and we got to get started on it.
And there's 5 suggested members.
5 suggested members.
Read out.
I'm trying to find it here, Commissioner Moore. What were those 5?
Go ahead, Howard.
It's the marine biologist, fishing guide, recreational angler, diver, marine operator, and Panacea or
Right.
St. Mark's, Florida waterfront community.
Right.
And then we put applications out just like we do the Industrial Development Authority or anything like that.
Well, we can. As Commissioner Moore has he has 5 suggested names, and if you guys agree to disagree on any of those, what's left, we can move forward, or however y'all want to handle that. Or if y'all want us to send out applications and handle it that way, that's fine.
It doesn't bother me as far as the other members selecting someone that they might approve. I think the board, though, should vote on whoever comes forward. and we'll vote on them individually.
And realize the folks that he has mentioned, has talked about, they've been ones that have already met a couple of times prior to this as kind of a citizens initiative to kind of start this program to try to get it going.
Who's the marine biologist on that group?
I don't think I have a marine biologist on that group.
I thought you did.
Well, I had Chuck Shields, that's the,
Marina.
he's the marina business person. B.J. Pybus is pretty much a state-connected environmental person.
That's what it was, that's who that was. I was
Campbell,
thinking.
now, B.J. might be, but Jody Campbell is a guide. Ronald Fred is very heavy in the fishing industry. Let's see, I had Chuck Shields from St. Mark, Jody Campbell from Del Point.
Mhm.
So we need a marine biologist?
Probably so, yeah, probably so. I
A
think that-
degreed marine biologist.
Yeah.
That works in the field.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any comments on the makeup itself, not the people?
Yeah, well, I want to go back before the committee. I'm not really understanding what the mission
Could we?
of the Marine Advisory Committee is. What is its mission? I understand what we're setting it up for, to facilitate this.
Its
movement.
mission is to develop an overall strategic, help the county in the development of the overall strategic plan for our artificial reefs.
So it is specifically for artificial
It
reefs?
is, we're setting it up to where it can do other things, such as advise us on other marine-related, such as if we wanted to expand this and to advise us on other marine-related issues, but right now, its laser focus is artificial reefs.
One other thing I could see maybe they could do is which channel to dredge.
Right.
Where they know, I know underneath the Oklahoma Bridge, there's a spot that's, things like that, I guess, related to the water.
We set it up so that if we wanted to continue it, we continue it. If they wanted to give advice as far as the boat ramp improvements that we may or may not be doing, also if we wanted to set up some artificial reefs for, freshwater fishing or whatever that is, they would be able to handle a multitude of different things, but their initial purpose for setting them up is the artificial reefs
There's an
and that
individual,
strategic plan.
There's an individual I might bring to the board by the name of Chris Russell. That is a biologist. That if I had, it's subject to the board.
Mhm.
Chris isn't a marine biologist, is he?
I know
he's got an environmental science degree, I'm not
But
sure.
anyway, I would suggest we bring back, just like we do every other committee, people apply for it, we rank them, and that's how we choose the people.
Then, marine biologists, like, would that, is there anywhere in here where someone with a lot of expertise like Jack Rudlow would fit?
Unless he's a marine biologist,
He's not.
no, and I don't know whether I don't think he's a fishing guide. I don't think he's a recreational angler. He'd have to fit one of those other two in Panacea or St. Mark's waterfront community. Panacea, unless they nominated him for that, then no.
Or either
Okay.
make a sixth category.
Okay. Well, if he can come through on one of those categories, such as waterfronts, that's fine.
Yeah, good.
Okay.
In other words, there is an opportunity for
Yeah.
that to be on that.
Okay, that's all I want to make sure.
I basically want to vote on everybody that comes on that board.
That's what I suggest we do, just like we do every other board. Each commissioner ranks. Then we
Will
have
do.
3 applications for the Panacea waterfronts, we'd rank them, and then we'd not sit here and argue about it, just have the numbers up, whoever got it, got it.
We can do that, and we'll set that in motion.
I like that in the fact that
I like that also.
that it gives it a good precedent, because whatever we do, we need to continue to do it, be consistent.
We're not sitting here arguing about personalities or anything like that.
Right.
That's the only way to do it.
And the last time we did that, it was awfully nice. So, yeah.
Fine enough.
Okay. Is there any public input? Anybody wants to speak to that? Mr. Webster?
Thank you. Commissioner, to your question about...
Come to the podium, please.
Stephen Webster, Tallahassee. Commissioner, to your point about Gulf Specimen Marine Lab, at the last Panacea Waterfronts meeting, community meeting they had, they prepared a resolution to endorse Jack Sung, Cyprus, as that person for it, and so they have done that. So they're, yeah, you know, they're in favor of that too. Just wanted to let you know that.
He's a good fellow.
Good.
Cypress is good.
Yeah.
Less hated than Jack. Any more
Okay, thank you.
discussion on it, or?
No, just the mission and the composition we've handled, I think that's great.
Okay. Anything else?
You can adjourn.
Meeting's
I
adjourned.
would, right before we adjourn, if we agree on Cypress, is there any reason that we can't just agree to this as we speak?
Well, y'all didn't agree on that.
Oh, we can't do it that
They've
night?
endorsed him, and
Okay.
he will
They've
be,
endorsed
he will
him.
be presenting himself.
He'll have to apply and all that
Just like
good stuff,
everybody else.
just like everybody else.
Now we're adjourned. See y'all at 6 o'clock.
So let it be written?
Set the clock.